another layout. I am going to show you the process in which I went to town and created this layout. Now, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome, like, subscribe, leave me a comment, all the fun stuff. That helps out my channel. Now, what I'm showing you here, I quite often do layouts that they look busy. When you look at the layout, you go, that's pretty busy. That's whoa, that's a bit much. But then you look at it and go, I love it. There's something about it. And 9 times out of 10, it's the layouts like that. They're actually really simple to do, but it's just a few processes. So if you are a fan of that sort of thing, you're going to love this layout because I went to town. Now, what you can see here is I do have this in hyperspeed at this point, guys. Slow it down soon, but we all know how to put washi tape in strips. Now, what you've seen me do there is I've actually added, I've always got in stock some, it's called Poppy Crafts brand of double-sided adhesive sheets. And what it allows me to do is it's an A4 sheet of double-sided adhesive. So it allows me to, it's great to use with vellum. It's great to use if you're putting tracing paper down. Any of those things that are transparent or semi-transparent, fantastic, because it completely puts adhesive over the entire back of whatever it is you're doing. Now, I'm using it in this case because washi tape is not a permanent adhesive. Washi tape is designed by default to be removable. So, obviously, if you're going to do something like this, well, you need it to be permanent. So, all I did is I cut me some cardstock, just some cheap white cardstock, and I am just going to town, adding the strips in the same order. The main reason I did that is because I wanted to be able to have the flexibility to not have the same circles next to each other on the actual layout. So stick with me. This entire process I've crammed down to 19 minutes. In actual time, it took me about an hour and a half. So it's not super difficult. It's definitely a layout that is doable if you've got a couple of hours at night and you just want to go to the scrap room and give it a go. Absolutely doable. Now, all these washi tapes that I'm using, they are just ones that I've collected over the years, and I do think that I can tell you one of them came from Kmart. There you go. The pattern at the top and bottom, that came from Kmart. I can tell you that much. Now, I'm using dies from Uniquely Creative. They are, they're metal circle dies. You can see them there. I'm using my magnet plate. So my bottom plate actually has magnets in it. And it's the Platinum, Spellbinder's Platinum 6 die cutting machine. And I invested in the magnets, and at first I wasn't confident that I was going to love it because when you put small dies, they sort of move between the magnets sometimes. So I wasn't sure I was going to love it, but now I've got used to it. I think it's fantastic. You put your dies down, cut side up, and it's magic. Absolute magic. Love it. So I've gone through and I've cut out my circles. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm just seeing how many circles I've actually got. And knowing that I'm going to cut them in half, obviously then I've got double the amount. So I'm having a look to see roughly how many I've got, and maybe I need to make some more. So I do make some more, but I don't make you watch me do that because, you know, it's like watching paint dry, isn't it? So when I do cut these though, I will tell you, I'm cutting them on an angle. So I'm not going with the grain of the tape. I'm cutting it across the tape, but not at a 90 degree. So all of them, as you can see, they're all on an angle. So once these are all put together, they look a little hickledy, like they don't look like cohesive lines. Does that make sense? So that is why I did it the way I did it. Now, I pulled out some distress ink. Don't mind the sideshow. That's Jen getting ready for a competition that she had on the weekend. And she was putting ghost tattoos and goblins and pumpkins. It was a dress up competition at her gymnastics. And as you can see there, she added a little ghosty to me as well. But yeah, so I was doing this. Now I'm using my distress inks instead of my distress oxides. Neither here nor there. You use what you have. If you have got distress inks, great. If you've got oxides, give them a crack. If you have any dye-based ink, give it a go. I wanted to run around the edges of my semicircles with some distress ink, and I used the colour Mermaid Lagoon, and then I came in on my background. I don't make you watch all this. I do. This is in hyperspeed. You can see my hands are a little bit sort of jumpy kind of thing. That's just the nature of the beast. If you're new to my channel, I will let you know that I leave in the entire process 99% of the time, because I don't like you guys to think that, and I get the comment all the time, I could never do what you do. Yes, you can. I promise you. Unless I preface the video with, this is a really difficult technique and it was really hard for me to do, and you know, unless it's something like that, and I'll let you know if it is. These are all easy to do. We've all got washi tape, or you know, if you don't have washi tape, make your own. Use masking tape and acrylic paint. Go for it. You know, it is so good, and you can make your own. I actually made some on a video. I might make some more. I haven't done any for a very, very long time. I might do something like that. Now I'm coming in on my background with Weathered Wood, Salvaged Patina, and Mermaid Lagoon. And there's no gesso or anything on this cardstock. This is just straight up flat white cardstock. And I'm just adding some splatters and some splotches. I'm using the crinkly, I'm calling it the crinkly packaging technique, because if you crinkle your plastic that you're doing your package, like using your packaging, right? If you wrinkle up your plastic and you dip into your wet ink and put it on, it gives you a different look. And I quite like that look. It's more, I think it's more unique. You don't just get a big swash, like a big swoosh of colour. That annoys me sometimes. So I get why people do it, but I like to try and keep my colours a little bit more separate when I'm using the packaging technique. Anyway, waffling now. So how I actually went about doing this is I used my T-square ruler, and at the 6-inch mark, I halved my centerpiece and I worked out towards the edges. That way I was guaranteed that the amount on each corner was going to be the same to cover. Then what I did, you can see here, I turned it on its side. So each corner I turned equally on its side. And I trimmed those edges off. That gives me a nice scalloped border. Now, once I did that and I went around and I had it all even, because that frustrates me. Does it bug you? Is that something that bugs you? Or are you just way easygoing? Sometimes I can just be free and easy and just go for it. And sometimes, especially when I'm using lots of pattern like this, I have to focus on it and get it even. I think it's off-putting when you look at a pattern and it's not plumbed up somehow. Anyway, so I go around, and then what I'm doing is adding the second semicircle, and I'm poking it in underneath what's already there. So I just use tape around, I just use 1/4 inch tape all the way around the border, right on the edge, and then I had the ability to lift all those circles up to push the other semicircle underneath. Now, this is where I would like to show you what I'm using. I've pulled out this is my 12 by 12 49th Market Vintage Artistry Sunburst Sentiments rub-ons. But then what I decided, I put that there and I'm like, hang on a minute. So I'm covering I'm doing my border around my photos, and I had all that washi tape that was on that adhesive, and I thought maybe I could use that. So by cutting it down, you can see that I managed to get basically two L shapes and combine them together, and that I can do that kind of mismatch. I can do that. Now, I just moved it out of the way for a second because I was having issues seeing it and focusing on it. So I thought it might be the same for you guys. Now, I create my little borders around my photos, and I just sat them because those pieces, they were going in the rubbish bin. They were not coming back out anyway. So why not use them for my border pieces? So not a problem. Stuck my photos down. Now, this is where I decided I put them down a bit too low. Anyway, I moved them up a little bit higher. Now, off my sentiments sheet, I've actually got my title, but then I remembered in the pile, like the massive quantity of product that was sent to me from Alicia Redshaw from Scrapbook Fantasies, she had the word fun cut out in a couple of different fonts in the cutter parts. Anyway, I pulled it out, and at the same time I found these little butterfly chipboard pieces, and I pulled those out as well, and they're all from Scrapbook Fantasies. So I will have them linked in the description below. You can head over there. They've got some great stuff, especially if you don't have a cutting machine yourself and you would like to purchase and give these a bit of a try. They've got them in all different sizes and fonts. It's fantastic. And I remembered that there was the word fun. There was a few different fonts using the word fun. So I went, okay, let's play with this and just make the decorations pretty much fun. Because that's what she was doing. She was having fun. She was just mucking around. She was having fun. So I pulled these out, and using the packaging that was crinkled, I added some ink to it. I didn't add water, and you can see I'm sort of splotching it onto, and I'm just very gently rubbing it over the titles, and it gave me a really cool effect. It's like you've got an aerosol can and you're just sort of doing a bit of graffiti and you're just going all over it sort of thing. And yeah, it totally worked. Now I'm using my black Ecoline pen. I don't know why I used that one. It was there. It was on my desk, so I picked it up because I wanted these butterflies to pop a little bit more. Now I needed to add some black onto my layout somewhere because I've got those two little tiny rub-ons, and they create the title for me, and it explains it. They weren't around the word fun on the sentiment sheet. They were actually around other words, but I wanted to use them because they added more visual interest and added some more black. So in the photos, there's some black in the background. Then I've got the black on the butterflies, and then those two little black bits. I didn't want this layout to go too dark, but those bits really pop because, how do I explain it? It's just, I feel like whenever I add my contrasting color, it's got to be on the layout 3 times. So that's where I'm going with this. Now I've got it in the rub-ons, I've got it on the butterflies, I've got it in the photos. So then I decided to use my Uniball Signo. I always remember what the black one's called. It's called a Gel Impact pen, and it's from Uniball Gel Impact 1.0 millimeter. and it's a gel impact. It goes over the top of almost anything. I'm going to say almost because I'm sure there's something I haven't used it on. These even write on acetate, believe it or not. So I went around my words. Now I skipped over that little bit because, to be honest with you, don't mind me, I'm grabbing something at the moment. No, actually, I know what I'm doing. Sorry. I was watching Jen's floor routine at that point. So I was at home and they were at my whole family was at Jen's comp. I know it sounds strange that I wasn't there, but because of my face with this sunspot treatment that I'm having, to say that I look a little scary is an understatement. I'm not going in public much at the moment because it's not a good look. It's awful. It's horrible. Wear your hats. Wear your sunscreen, kids. Believe me, this is a hard lesson to learn. So I'm just going through. Can you see how that little bit of black pops? I'm nearly finished, guys. Stick with me because very, very soon I'm going to show you just the last finishing touches that just bring this entire layout together. It's all repetitive with the colors. The colors, I chose colors that worked well together in the washi tapes. So I just went with the blues right up to the teals. There is a tiny bit of purple on there, but the purple doesn't stand out and it's not in your face because it's in such tiny amounts. The black butterflies look perfect. I absolutely love them. I also pulled in some sequins. You actually can buy sequins mixes from Scrapbook Fantasies. They actually do small mixes. So if you want to get yourself some mixes that match certain, if you're someone that likes to buy kits, if you have a look on their website, you can see the kits, the kits that they're carrying, excuse me, and they will have matching, most of the time, there's matching bling to go with it. And I really like that idea. I have my own, I have all my colors separate because I like to create my own on my layout. But if that's not you, jump over there and have a look, because I know here in Australia, finding sequins, I know overseas they have Spiegelmum scraps and they have their sequin mixes, but here in Australia we don't have many places that do it. If you know of any that do, by all means leave it in the comments below, and that way I can check them out and let you know in another video. So this one here is just about done. I did pull out my Uniquely Creative, that's where I got mine. You can buy these everywhere. They are little sparkle brushes and they just add a little tiny bit of shimmer. So here's my layout. Doesn't it just all come together in the end? Little bit of sequins, little bit of shimmer and shine, the washi tape, the inks, the words, fun, 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 fun. The cutouts turn out being the ephemera. So, you know, give it a crack. Let me know if this is something you will try. Also, don't forget the links in the description. Go and check out Scrapbook Fantasies, and they are Australian and they will post to you. And I think they only post in Australia though, maybe New Zealand, I'm not sure. But send them a message and I'm sure they'll let you know. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave me a comment, all the good things that help this channel grow. Thanks very much, guys. I'll chat to you soon. Bye for now.